Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's me coming at you again with another vid. Well, it looks like Tony Bellew finally did it. He finally captures a world championship after two failed attempts. He defeats Lugan Magabu in the third round. Devastating KO. I mean, Jesus. Well, obviously it was a TKO because Mugumbu was out on his feet. But let me, Makabu, not Mugumbu, Magabu. So let me talk about this for 1 second here. I have to admit that I actually counted Tony Bellew out because I felt, in my mind, I felt that he didn't really have it what it takes to be on a world level, given his devastating KO losses to Adonis Stevenson and coming up short against guys like Nathan Cleverly in their first fight and whatnot, and so forth. Yeah, he did avenge the Cleverly loss in a split decision. Uh, well, which most people argue that was not a very good, eventful fight, unlike the first one. But anyhow, yeah, Magumbu, man, it was funny. I seen a lot of people a lot of videos in the comment section were just arguing over the fact that Magumbu was going to steamroll Bellew. Yes, he does have power. He does have, yeah, he's a crude fighter to a degree. But if you look at his record, his greatest win in his record, I would say, is way over the hill, Glenn Johnson. Well, obviously he's one of the only two guys to stop Glenn Johnson, but some would argue that Glenn Johnson is not really a cruiserweight. He shouldn't be fighting in that division. But Glenn Johnson is old warrior. We know how that goes. Then he beat Machuno. Okay, fine, that was somewhat of a decent win, but Machuno is not really kind of on a world level fighter as it is anyway. And to me, again, it was a 50-50 fight, but I thought, again, it's like, I thought that Bellew was not going to come through. But then again, like I said, Magumbu may have a slight advantage because of the power, but then again, he's not really world level. So I just think that Tony Bellew, man, the way he won that title, Well, let me get into that before I get into. Let me go into this, break this down piece by piece because this fight only lasted 3 rounds, even though it was a very good fight. So in the first round, Tony Bellew was winning the first round. He was throwing combinations. He was applying a lot of pressure. He was using his height advantage. He was definitely using his reach advantage. He was trapping Magumbu in the corner, and we all know that. Magumbu. I keep saying Magumbu. Makabu. Magabu in the corner. Magabu is a very, very notorious slow starter. So he was taking some punishment in the corner, before the end of the first round. And then next, he got out of the corner and he hit Bellew with it. See, this is what happened. When Bellew was throwing his power shots, he kept his hands incredibly low. And Magabu saw that and he came in with a straight left and he dropped Bellew so hard that he actually rolled to the ropes. And, to all credit, Bellew wasn't really hurt. It was more of a surprising shot that got his attention. So, yeah, so continued on. I gave him the second round, and then, Bellew. Then the third round, this is where he really, really hurt Magabu. He launched a barrages of punches. I mean, devastating punch the man. And Magabu was out Magabu was out on his feet, and that's when the referee stopped the fight. And from there, Tony Bellew was crying. He was in tears of excitement because it was in front of his own crowd, obviously a hostile crowd in Liverpool. But other than that, yeah, man, this was actually probably, if you ask me, man, we all have, I know the cruiserweights has been a very slept on division. We've had some great cruiserweight fights this year so far, with Cunningham and Gawaki. We had Gawaki versus Marco Huck. And, now this one right here, even though it lasted only 3 rounds, some would say this is probably the most eventful fight on the cruiserweight division so far this year. Some may beg to differ, but we'll see. But other than that, yeah, man, this is definitely a great win for Tony Bellew. He shut down all the naysayers, including me, because I didn't think he was going to come through after two failed title attempts. And I honestly believe that after the Donna Stevenson fight, I thought he didn't really have it what it takes anymore, even though he was able to put on a couple of, somewhat decent wins. Like I said, the second fight against Nathan Cleverly, even though that was not a very good, eventful fight. Some would say Cleverly shouldn't even be fighting in the cruiserweight division, given the fact that he was a bit overweight. and he went back down to light heavyweight. But other than that, yeah, man, I have to say I'm very happy for Tony Bellew. He worked hard, even though I didn't like this guy's attitude on most occasions, but he did really show good gesture and sportsmanship after he put Makabu out on his feet, and he went to check on him to make sure he was all right, and paid his respects to him. So it definitely, great win. I'm happy for the man. Now he's on top of the world, cruiserweight champion. Congratulations to Tony Bellew. Now, where do you see him? Where do you see him go from here? I mean, could we see him in a matchup against Dennis Letasov, or can we see him, in a fight against Marco Huck, or maybe Steve Cunningham? Well, maybe Cunningham. I don't know about Cunningham. He may be retiring. Who knows? But yeah, let me know what you think, y'all. Care to comment, share, subscribe. Signing off. Peace.